How's everyone doing today? This is Adam with Commander on a Budget. Today's episode of Budget Brews is going to be a little different. We're going to be doing some upgrades for the Precons. These are going to be the ones from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. These are really just cards that I think are very beneficial in the decks. You can really take the decks in multiple different ways. Some of the cards are for both of the dual color commanders, so we're just going to hop on into it. I've been talking for way too long. Probably the first card that I would throw in the Kotori deck would be Mirrored in Besiege. This helps you make tokens when you cast artifact cards, and it also doubles as another potential win con depending on how many times the board's been wiped. It's a really great card. I highly recommend this card. Probably the most expensive card that's going to be on this video is Throne of the God Pharaoh. This card's around $5 to $6, but it's absolutely fantastic in the vehicle deck because you have to tap creatures to crew them. You attack with the vehicles. Once they're crewed, like this card's just insane. You can run Tempered Steel to give all your vehicles an extra anthem. Some fun vehicles you can run in the deck are cards like Dermotaxi, which are a bunch of people's favorite card. It can pretty much make copies of other creatures. It's real good for a vehicle. Another vehicle that I would highly recommend in this deck is Cosima, the Voyage, but really you want to play her backside. The Omen keel is the backside of Cosima, and honestly, it's a fantastic card for vehicle decks. It lets you pretty much guarantee that you can hit your land drops or set it up so you'll be able to hit them. It's definitely a very vital card, in my opinion. A card that has a lot of really great overlap for both of these decks that's definitely a solid pickup for both is Sculpting Steel. This card can help you copy artifacts in the Kotori deck, and in the Shira deck, this can help you copy equipments, so you just have another way to make your stuff more modified. Speaking of which, our second precon that we're going to be throwing some upgrades in is going to be Shira, the Shattered Blade. This is pretty much based around modifying your creatures, throwing auras and equipment on stuff, so let's hop on into it. I personally think bludgeon brawl is an absolutely great way to make extra equipment so you always have stuff that you can modify onto stuff. With that being said, arterial alchemy is also absolutely fantastic. This gives you blood tokens, which can help you filter through your deck, and it can also make them equipment. Since you will be putting counters on stuff, you can run evolution sage. Whenever you landfall, you get to proliferate. Disruptive quorum is more for the secondary commander in the Shira deck, but I still think it's a really fantastic card. Thanks to its reprint in the AFR commander decks, it's currently less than $2. So I think it's definitely a solid pickup if you want to take that route with the deck. Depending on how many equipment you have, Golem Skin Goblins is an absolutely fantastic card that you can modify, plus it's really cheap to cast and equip. In this deck, they created a bunch of different cards that can make other aura enchantment tokens. So Ancestral Max is going to be really good for that. It can make something really big and help you close out a game. But probably one of my favorite cards to actually run in this deck is Volderkeeper the Flame. It wants to be equipped and it wants to be enchanted, so this is definitely a fantastic target for you to throw everything onto. One last thing before I go. Apparently there was a really big botch when it comes to mass producing these decks. The Shira deck came with 2 copies of Mossfire Valley. You can just drop it for a basic land and you should be okay. But that's the video. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if I missed anything. I'll talk to y'all later.